Whether it's a block by James that won the Cavs their first NBA championship.
Picked off by Iguodala to Curry, back to Iguodala to the rim.
Great block!
James out of nowhere, skies to the rim.
Reggie Miller's impossible 8 points in 9 seconds.
Oh, he threw it away to Reggie for three! Boom, baby! It's a tie ball game! Unbelievable!
The steal by Larry Bird that became a miracle.
Now there's a steal by Bird. Underneath the DJ, laid it up to DJ, laid it up to him, and Boston has a 1 point.
Or Michael Jordan's last dance. Lock in, folks, because today, Fadeaway brings you the wildest moments in NBA playoff history. Now, we've all seen comeback, but you haven't seen a game this crazy. I'm talking about the Nuggets versus the Lakers first-round matchup of this year's playoffs. At one point, LA was cruising to a 20-point lead, thinking they'd finally break their 500-day losing streak against the Nuggets, a situation Los Angeles had no business being in to begin with. But as the first half concluded and the second half begun, Jokic and the Nuggets launched a comeback, turning the game into a nail-biter. And then, in a move that had everyone on pins and needles, 4 seconds left, Jamal Murray hit AD with the hesitation dribble, drove baseline, and knocked down the game winner in AD's face.
Makes a move. Danger.
That literally stunned the Lakers and had the crowd going nuts. The Nuggets were ecstatic. The Lakers were in disbelief. It was only game 2, but the season was basically over at that point. I know it hurts, Lakers fans. Believe me, I know. But not more than our next moment. Game 5 of the 2019 first-round playoffs. The Oklahoma City Thunder were on a mission to stage an epic comeback from their 3-1 deficit. The game was neck and neck at 115 apiece, and hope was in the air. But Dame Dollar had other plans. He had a different agenda to send Paul George, Westbrook, and the rest of them boys packing from the postseason. With just 13 seconds left, it was Lillard versus George, an offensive wizard versus a defensive maestro. Neither was backing down, and with 2.2 seconds remaining, Dame launched a 37-foot game winner, and bang, the rest is history. The Blazers were on to the next round. OKC could only watch in heartbreak as the Westbrook and Paul George experiment was over. They would both get traded 3 months later. But this wasn't the first time Dame broke thousands of hearts. Let me explain. It was Game 6 of the first round of 2014 NBA playoffs. The Blazers were trailing by 2, and it looked like a surefire victory for the Houston Rockets. But then, with 0.9 left on the clock, Blazers called timeout to move the ball up to half court. Lillard then curled off the top of the key, got the shot off from 3, 2 or 3 steps behind the line, and bang, get it out the net. The rest was history. Lillard had taken the Blazers to the playoffs for the first time in 14 years. Thousands of Rockets fans watched in pain as tears flooded from their eyes. Lillard had robbed them of a chance at a chip. But man, since we talking robbery, we have to talk about how the New York Knicks literally robbed the Philadelphia 76ers blind just recently. I'm talking about the Knicks versus Sixers 2024 first round matchup, Game 2. As the game entered the last minute, the Knicks trailed by 5, and really, it looked like they were going to take the L. But then the world saw something unreal, something impossible. 8 points in the next 30 seconds, Reggie Miller-esque. From a 5-point deficit to a 3-point victory, the Knicks had done the unimaginable. Now things are going to get real serious. 2016 NBA Finals. The stakes were too high. The conditions were rough. Warriors were the favorites, a formidable team that had come from the greatest season in NBA history, with a record of 73-9. It was unreal. The Cavs had come all the way back from 3-1 to tie the series at 3 games apiece. But this didn't make things any easier. It all came down to the wire in Game 7. With just 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter, tensions were sky high as the scores were deadlocked at 89. Kyrie Irving missed a floater. Andre Iguodala grabbed the rebound, gave it to Steph. Steph gave it back to Iguodala for what looked like an easy fast break layup in the lead, and then out of nowhere, Bron stepped in to make what would go down as the greatest block in NBA history, sized it up, and smacked it off the backboard. The defensive move goes down in history as one of the most clutch plays in NBA history. They even named it the block, and rightfully so, because it broke Cleveland's 54-year championship drought. But real quick, I want to say this. We give a lot of credit to the block by LeBron, the defensive stop by Kevin Love, and the big shot by Kyrie Irving, and rightfully so. But I want to give some credit to J.R. Smith for contesting Iguodala's layup attempt. Don't get me wrong, the block by LeBron was clean, and LeBron likely would have still blocked it regardless. But J.R. Smith altering Iguodala's layup attempt allowed LeBron to get the block as clean as he did. Something I've always noticed watching it all those years ago. But lock in, folks, because we got another wild moment coming your way. You know how some moments are etched into our memories forever? Well, this one is a prime example. Let's flash back to Game 4 of the 2002 Western Conference Finals. The Los Angeles Lakers versus the Sacramento Kings. It was literally like stepping into a hoops horror story. The Kings were dominating with the 2-1 series lead, and things looked grim for Kobe and the gang as they fell behind by 20 points. And back then, them leads were huge. But the man in the purple and gold held their nerves, and it came down to the final 11 seconds of the game. The Kings were up by 2, as Kobe and Shaq both missed opportunities to tie the game. It looked like it was all over for LA. They were about to go down 3-1 going back to Sacramento until the ball landed in the magical hands of Robert Horry. Talk about right place and right time. He caught the ball, put the shot up, and bang, get it out the net. It was over. The ball went in, the Lakers had won, and one of the greatest moments and wildest sequences you'll ever see in a basketball game was created. When you're watching the NBA, you live for such moments. And I guess I can say the same for our next moment as well. It's pretty clear that Michael Jordan changed the fate of the Chicago Bulls. But here's the catch. Newsflash to people. Newsflash to all the Jordan stands out there. He didn't do it alone. Other players like Scottie Pippen and Dennis Rodman have major contributions towards the success and legacy of the franchise and Jordan's career. I mean, how can we not mention the dying moments of the 1997 NBA Finals? The Bulls were leading the series 3-2, but everything came to a standstill in the last 10 seconds of Game 6. As Jordan drove the left baseline, he found himself double-teamed by Byron Russell and John Stockton. At that moment, he made a wide-open pass to Steve Kerr, and bang, get it out the net. My man's delivered. I wonder if Jordan would get the same hate LeBron did for making the right play had Kerr missed the shot. Probably not. Anywho, Steve Kerr hit the shot, and the Bulls had won their 5th NBA championship. I bet this was the best day of his life. I mean, at least up to that point. And how couldn't it be? Stealing the spotlight from Jordan? Come on. And I know we just mentioned his airness, but we must show you this iconic moment from The Last Dance. It was Game 6 of the 1998 NBA Finals, and certainly the last outing for Michael Jordan in the Chicago Bulls uniform. With 18.9 seconds to play, Utah led by 1, had the possession. But then, MJ did something special. Just when Karl Malone thought he had it in the bag, boom! Jordan swapped in for a clean steal as Malone was posting up. It was at this point time had literally stopped. And then a crossover dribble and a slight push off by Jordan, and bang, getting out the net. The 20-footer was all net, and that was it. The Bulls had completed their second three-peat. With this, Jordan wrapped up his career in Chicago, but we are nowhere close to wrapping this up. So do me a favor, man. Go ahead and slam dunk the sub button, and let's keep it going. Now, I'm sure you guys haven't seen anything like this in our next moment. It was Game 7 of the 2019 Eastern Conference semifinals between the 76ers and the Raptors. With only 4.2 seconds on the clock, the scores were knotted up at 90 apiece. Everyone pretty much expected this game to go into overtime. Well, everyone except Kawhi. It was one of the most dramatic moments in NBA history, and I mean literally dramatic. Kawhi caught the ball, dribbled right baseline, put the shot up, and the ball bounced and circled around the rim while the entire world waited in suspense. Watching this live, it felt like time was literally standing still. And then, bang, the ball drops in. The Toronto crowd went from cemetery silent to going absolutely insane as the Raptors would win Game 7, eventually make it to the NBA Finals where they won their first championship. And all of us thought Kawhi was only good at laughing. Taking away the injuries, Kawhi is a really good player. Some even have him underrated. Just like our next guy. It was Game 1 of the 1995 NBA playoff. With under 20 seconds left on the clock, the Pacers were down 105-99. All hope seemed lost. There was no way the Knicks were letting this lead go. Or was it? Well, Reggie had other plans. He literally switched to God mode. Stole the ball, hit 2 3-pointers in 5.5 seconds to tie the game. But tying it was not enough. After John Starks missed 2 free throws and Patrick Ewing missed a putback attempt, Reggie was fouled as he grabbed the rebound, and the rest is history. He scored 8 points in 8.9 seconds. He literally owned the Knicks, and it's why he's been called the Knick Killer. These legends were on a whole new level when it came to hooping, and Larry Bird's case is no different. You know, in Detroit, they often narrate a tale of legend of how a guy named Larry took away everything from the Pistons in less than a split second. This sequence took place in the 1987 Eastern Conference Finals. As the Celtics faced the Pistons, with less than 5 seconds in the game, Larry Bird's outstanding IQ came into play. He made one of the finest steals in league's history. He stole the inbounds play, made an assist to Dennis Johnson, and won it for the Celtics. One of those iconic moments enhanced by the iconic play-by-play call by Johnny Most. No wonder Larry has a status that's unmatched to date. And we can't talk about playoff moments and not talk about Kobe. All of us remember him for the memories he gave. His 81-point game, the Lakers dynasty, all these things. But there was one moment that came against the Phoenix Suns in 2006, and it was the best of Kobe. In Game 4 of the 2006 NBA playoffs, he literally did the unthinkable. After getting the jump ball with 6 seconds left, Kobe dribbled 5 times from half court to the right elbow, pulled up over Boris Diaw and Raja Bell, and bang, get it out the net. Kobe had done it for the Lakers once again, hitting one of the most clutch shots in NBA history, ranking it pretty high in my book for the future MVP. Now, if you want to see how I rank every MVP season from worst to first since 2000, you know what to do. Just click right here.